We are in a time of great change, and humanity is awakening more and more every day. Mankind needs insights on what is happening to all of us. That is why I'm inviting you to Wisdom from Beyond, a 6-day virtual summit designed to awaken your soul. Experience over 9 hours of soul-expanding channeling sessions led by 6 of the world's most esteemed channelers. Connect with the divine, receive sacred insights, and transform your journey by asking questions directly to the channelers themselves. This is more than just a summit. It is your gateway to understanding the profound shifts happening within and around all of us. Plus, when you sign up, you receive exclusive bonus content to deepen your spiritual exploration. Join us and step into the extraordinary. Hey guys, thank you so much for sharing your Sunday with me on this amazing day in September. I appreciate you guys so much. Now, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff this today, talking about why so many of us are feeling so left out and kind of, you know, confused and off balance because of what's happening in the world and all the chaos that seems to be happening around us in all areas of life. But before we get started, I want to first acknowledge that we just hit 900,000 subs, which is amazing. Thank you so much. Um, thank you so much, Georgina, for letting us know it is a celebration day. And I want to thank you guys all for the amazing support that you've given Next Level Soul to get to this amazing landmark. We're only 100,000 subs away from the monumental 1 million subs. And for a show that's only been around for a little bit, we've only been around for seriously only for about two and a half, almost 2 years and 3/4, almost 3 years. It is humbling to say the least. So thank you so much for all the support. Now, today we are going to be diving into why this world feels so chaotic and what is happening to this spiritual shift that is happening on the planet, and to human consciousness in general. But later, we're going to also be bringing in some powerful clips from some of my favorite channelers who've been on the show: Sarah Landon, the legendary Sheila Gillette, with Theo and Ann Tucker, to give us deeper insights on what is happening energetically around the world. Now, there will also be a Q&A session towards the end of the stream, so don't worry. You will have chances to ask me questions, and I will do my best to answer them as best as I can. So you guys are coming in very fast. So I will do the best I can to answer questions as they come in. Now, before we get started, many of you have been messaging me about our new virtual summit that we're throwing called the Wisdom from Beyond Virtual Summit. Now, it is an event designed to offer profound spiritual growth featuring some of the top channelers in the world who will guide you through this transformational time. Now, but I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later. Now, first and foremost, the chaos that we're feeling right now. Now, the world seems like it's going through a major energetic shift. And I wanted to do this live stream to kind of tell you, because it's one of the questions that you guys ask me the most, and is one of the topics we cover on the show a lot, because there seems to be something going on that is really kind of just rocking the foundations of humanity and humanity's consciousness right now. And it's kind of insane. And I think a lot of people feel like the world is falling apart, which in all actuality, we're in actually the best time in human history that we know of, at least, that has ever been in recorded human history, as like I said, as we know. Because there is less war going on than ever in the history of humanity. We have technologies, we have things, we have ease, we have hot showers in the West, and in many parts of the world. These comforts that we thought that were, they've only been around for less than 100 years. Einstein didn't take a hot shower. So I just want to kind of put that reference in mind for you guys. So understand that the world isn't falling apart, but it feels like it. And we're here to talk about how it feels and what we can do to not only help us, ourselves, individuals, our family, but how we can help others around the planet as well. Now, you'll notice that a lot of old systems that are not serving us anymore are starting to show their cracks. They're starting to show these little imperfections. I always talk as a recovering Catholic. I always talk about the Vatican and the Roman Catholic institution, the church that Rome built, essentially. And if you first time you ever heard that, please check a few of our latest conversations on the show, and you'll understand that. But when I was growing up, the Vatican and the Roman Catholic Church was infallible. But in the last 20 or 30 years, you can see a lot of scandal, a lot of things that have rocked the foundations of that. We see it in our political systems. We see it in the division that we have. Growing up, yeah, there was always right and left. There was always one liberal and conservative, but people were able to speak to each other. People were able to work together for the common good of the people. And I'm not talking only about the US, guys. I'm also talking about the rest of the world. This year is a unprecedented political year with over 50% of all countries in the world having having an election of some sort. So there is going to be a great shift in leadership around the world as well. So in the political system, we see it. In the healthcare system, we're starting to see it. People are starting to, at least in the West here, a lot of people are getting tired of the abusive pricing of the system, and the system is not really built to help or heal us in many ways. Sometimes long term, um, but a lot of times it's only for profit. The pharmaceutical companies only for profit and things like that. Yes, they do a lot of great in the world, a lot of good in this world. There's no question. Like I've always said, if I'm in an accident or something, please don't rub a leaf on me. Take me to an emergency room. That's the time for that kind of medicine to help us. But that institution, you're starting to see it. Our economics, our money, we're starting to see inflation running crazy around the world. We're starting to see our markets that have been jacked up over the last 20 years or so, starting to show weaknesses, things like that. Education, the some of the greatest universities on the planet are starting to see. You're starting to see like, hey, this what they're trying to sell us doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. Spending all this money so you were starting to see all these weaknesses in these grand institutions that was there before. Even the media, the mainstream media has been saying things and pushing things upon us in ways that many of us have said, hey, that's not what I want to hear. I don't want to hear only the negative things around the world. I want to tune into a show like Next Level Soul or other shows like it that brings some sort of relief, some sort of positivity, some sort of deeper understanding of what we're all going through. So I'm just pointing all of these industries out, and I can keep going. They're everywhere. But those are the kind of things that they're just not serving us anymore. And those old institutions are starting to go away without question. Now, with this kind of chaos always precedes transformation. I don't know about you, but when I've gone through the darkest times in my life is when I have learned the most, when I have grown the most in my journey as a spirit, as a soul, as a human being living in a three-dimensional world. Those times of chaos, those times of challenge, obstacles are the times that I grow the most and learn the most. And I'm not saying they're fun by any stretch, but they are a necessity for transformation. You can't build a muscle in the gym without tearing the muscle fibers down so it can regrow stronger. You need that stress, that pressure of what challenges bring you in order to grow. And we are all going through that collectively. It is something the experience of our own lives, and now we're seeing it happen around the globe. Humanity is collectively going through a dark night of the soul. And if anyone listening has gone through a dark night of the soul, you understand how powerful and difficult that is. Imagine for the entire planet. Imagine for people who've never dealt with this, never seen this before, and they're going through it. They don't understand what a dark night of the soul is. Imagine that. Now, this may feel intense, but it is necessary to purge these low frequency energies, to bring light to what has been hidden and unresolved for many, many, many years. That includes some of the wars that we're in, the world is in right now, um, political, racism, religious, economic, all of these low energy frequencies need to be brought to the light. And that is what is happening right now. And only then can we truly heal what is happening on the planet, what is happening to our species, our collective around the world. Now, the chaos might be actually reflecting the vibrational shift in this collective, because all of this stuff is kind of being drawn up and kind of shooken up. It seems like chaotic. I don't know if any of you remember an Etch-a-Sketch back in the 80s, where you needed to shake it up to clean the plate, to clean so you can create again. That is what's happening right now. And it is not fun. We're moving from those lower vibrations of fear and separation to higher ones like unity and compassion. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is happening, and that is for sure. Now, this can feel extremely disabling, especially if anyone who's ever gone through a dark night of the soul would understand. But this is part of the process, like I said before. Now, I'm going to bring in a clip of Sarah Landon that is channeling the council to shed a little light on this. Let's take a listen.
We are so pleased and delighted to have the opportunity to speak with you on this fine and glorious day indeed. While our words to you are important, this is a vibrational experience of remembering the truth of who you really are, why you are here, and all that you intended when you chose this magnificent life experience. You truly are here during the most incredible time of the great awakening of your beloved human family into truth, into love, into experiencing individually and collectively the pure love that you are, so that you can live fully, love fully, and be all that you are. There has never been a more exciting time to be incarnated on earth. And while we have talked in the past about this being a grand experiment, and while it was, you have now proven that you can awaken to pure love and stay in physical form on the planet. This is now an experience of humanity, and you can do so from a grander perspective with a higher viewpoint, really seeing the potential and the possibility for all of humankind to awaken to the truth of who they are too. So, where would you like to begin, our friend?
Thank you so much for being here. It's always a joy having you on the show. My first question is that I've just discovered that this year is a very pivotal year in regards to elections around the world. Over 50% of all countries are having a presidential election. So there seems to be a giant shift in leadership going to happen, or turmoil, if you will, in these shifts. Because anytime there's an election, there's a group that's happy and there's a group that's not happy. What is your take on this year's elections? How are they going to affect the planet and the shift that we're going through?
Well, when you're seeing something collectively, we want you to take it back to your own unique experience. What's really going on is you are all voting. You are all coming to a very pivotal moment of choosing. And you're not choosing between right and wrong and good and bad. You're choosing to awaken to the truth of who you really are. You're choosing to create your life the way you want it to be. You're choosing freedom for yourself to create the life you want to experience. Or you're choosing to still be powerless and to give your power away. You talked about it before we came forth. You are either choosing to be in your power or to give your power away. And so this is being reflected in the collective. That's obvious. But it really is about your own unique choice for yourself of whether you're going to come into your power to fully awaken and to create your life the way you want it to be. None of these things outside of you can take your power from you. And so you individually and collectively are choosing. And it is the great awakening that is occurring that is bringing this choice to a head, sort of say, creating this moment of election or voting for. But it really is your own personal, unique choice.
Now, that what Sarah is saying there, what the council is saying there, guys, is that when we raise our own individual vibration, our own individual frequency, that not only uplifts us, but it helps elevate the consciousness of the collective, of everybody around us, and whoever we connect and they connect to. It is kind of like a domino effect on everybody. That we have to focus on ourselves, because if we try to focus on raising or helping the entire world, we will not make it, because we have to work on ourselves first. And just by doing that, by raising our own individual frequencies in life and in this life, we help people around us and we help the collective as a whole. Now, we need to start doing global shadow work. What is happening now is humanity's shadow is being brought to the surface. The chaos that we see is a reflection of the unhealed parts of our collective conscious, and then coming up to be faced with it right in our face. Now, I don't know about you. I generally don't like to do that either. But that is not only happening to when you do it by yourself, when you do shadow work by yourself and you do it internally, but that is what the entire human experience, all of humanity is going through that. All this unhealed parts, this trauma, this stuff, this division, this illusion of separation is being shoved into our faces as a species and saying, now deal with this. You have to work on this. If not, we're not going to move forward. Now, this is a crucial step in the spiritual evolution that humanity is going through, confronting what has been buried and avoided for centuries, if not thousands of years, of things that we as a species have to go through. Now, I'm going to bring in Sheila Gillette and the being that she channels, Theo. Sheila's been doing this for many decades, and Theo is one of the most profound channeled entities doing this light work currently in the world. So let's see what he and Sheila have to say.
Okay, here we go. It is the beginning, is it not?
It is.
We are appreciative of the opportunity to serve, you may ask.
Yes, thank you, Theo, for being here. There is so much upheaval happening in the world right now with the wars in Israel, the wars in the Ukraine, and so many other places in the world. Why is humanity going through all of this right now, and how can we overcome the pain and the suffering of people and loved ones that we know that are going through these horrible times?
So it's difficult to understand that those would be the way showers of a new way, but they are. For this chaos is such of an old paradigm or belief system that has been carried forward for centuries that is now to change. All of this has to surface, to be seen for what it is. And it is not to divide you, but to empower you to collaborate as a species to change this way of being in the world. Changing it from within changes it externally. So doing the internal process of obtaining that love or unconditional love of self that radiates out into your world, integrating those aspects of yourself that hold beliefs that are simply untrue about being not worthy. You are divine, spiritual beings having a human experience. You're more magnificent than you know, and you're more powerful than you know as well. And this is requiring you to come together. You're better together than you are apart. You're one species on the planet. It matters not where you live on the planet, the color of the skin, the language that is spoken. It is that you are one species. And not to see each other as other, but in the oneness, the wholeness that is. This is the shift of consciousness that is now. And there was the pandemic to show you, the virus to show you, there was no deciding who should have the virus and who should not because of color of skin, language. It looked for a host, and what was the host? The human body.
Yes, what she is trying to remind us of, and what Theo is trying to remind us of, is the importance of integrating our shadow to move forward on our spiritual path. It's not all butterflies and cupcakes and unicorns. We are here for these challenges. We are here to deal with our shadow, with the quote unquote negative parts that we have accumulated in this lifetime and possibly in many other ones before. When we can deal with those, it helps us evolve, not only individually, but as a collective. Now, how do we navigate? How do we stay grounded in all of this chaos that we're feeling? First and foremost, please stop watching mainstream media. Don't turn on the news. We feel like everything's falling apart because all we get fed are these negative stories from around the world. And to be honest with you, unless you're in those parts of the world or in that specific scenario, it doesn't really affect your life. You don't need to truly know about it. If it's something big enough, the news will get to you. That's what the great Wayne Dyer used to say. He never watched the media. He's like, oh, if the news is big enough, someone will tell me eventually. And that's how I try to live my life as well. Try not to look at the mainstream media because they are promoting fear, a lot of fear and anxiety for things that you can't control. You can't control wars that are going on around the world. You can't control other things, other negative things that are happening around this planet. What you can control is your world, your reality, the people around you to help them. That is the world that you have some control over. So please, that's one of the biggest tips I can say. Stop watching mainstream media because it's going to scare the hell out of you. Back in the day, if there was a war going on 100 miles from us, we wouldn't have known until we saw something or someone came over bloodied because there was no media, there was no TV. Maybe we had Paul Revere say something as he drove by. But other than that, we wouldn't have known, and our life would have kept going in a peaceful manner, in a blissful manner, and literally 100 miles away, 50 miles away, there could have been massacres going on, and we wouldn't have known. So if it's something that needs to get to you, it will get to you. Don't invite that negative energy in, because it will mess with your mind. It will cloud your judgment. And please be careful with social media. You start going down rabbit holes in social media that are not positive or curiosity-based positive rabbit holes like you do here with Next Level Soul. But if you're on social media going down rabbit holes, that algorithm will continue to give you what your bias might already be, and it might put you in an echo chamber. So be very, very careful of that. The biggest thing I would say is how to ground yourself is meditation. Meditate, 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 meditate. Just find a quiet place. Stay quiet with yourself. Put on some ocean sound effects or meditation track. We have them. There are many of them around the world. You can put on YouTube. There's a ton of them on YouTube. That will help you maybe disconnect. Take a walk in nature. Connect yourself to nature. If you've seen one of our latest interviews with Elizabeth Carson, we talk a lot about grounding and earthing, walking barefoot in nature. That allows you to connect to the magnetic field of the earth, which is healing. Have you ever wondered why? Every time you go to the ocean and you're in the beach, you get this energy of feeling not only the ions coming in from the ocean water, but the actual grounding in the sand. You are connected to Mother Earth by doing that. And some of the healings that happen with doing that is amazing. Have you ever noticed that animals in the wild don't get cancer unless they run across something we did? They don't have cancer. Why? Because they're connected constantly to this planet. They don't have diseases like that because they're constantly connected to this planet. They have bare feet touching. We've forgotten that. So that's another thing. Breath work is another thing that you can do to just calm the nervous system, to relax, to ground yourself, to center yourself. That is what really helps you to get grounded and help. It is essential that we manage our personal energies during this chaotic time. This is how we can remain anchored while everything is shifting around us. Because of this kind of hurricane that we're in, when you're able to just ground yourself, to center yourself, nothing can move you because you're grounded, you're centered. This other stuff becomes noise, and you're walking the path that you are building for yourself. Now, I encourage you to shift your perspective. Instead of resisting the chaos, see it as a catalyst for growth. See it as a catalyst for transformation, both for you personally and for us collectively. Now, I'm going to bring in one of my favorite channels I've had on the show, Ann Tucker, and she is going to be channeling the angelic realm. This is a pretty powerful channeling. So let's see what they have to say on this subject.
Greetings. We wish to speak upon a specific method by which you are ungrounding yourselves, by which you have brought yourselves into conflict unnecessary. And we wish to relate to you now a method by which you can purify your thought and remembrances to include the doubtful intolerances that you have held, to bring them to the forefront and to release them for the future that is passing shortly. We wish you to bring these intolerances into perspective, to hold them as ungrounding, as denying in your own selves a communion that belongs to the all and the every, to understand and to hold in your heart space a need for comprehension of another soul, to keep in your heart space an understanding of your belonging to the reference point of the human kind, the group soul, one consciousness you all share. and to understand in these intolerances, which do bend and create within your own heart feelings of denial, of self-deprecation, of lack and absence, that they hold for yourself a disempowering state. And we wish to call them to you now. Do not find within your own internal discussion, as you are hearing our words, you may find there is no place you are aware of where you feel intolerant. And we say intolerances reside wherever there is judgment, wherever you hold within yourself a sense of what you shall have, shall be, shall do, wherever you hold yourself into a place of importance among others, wherever you feel yourself called into juxtaposition with another. There are many places in each day and each moment that you spend where you may find yourself placed into a moment of intolerance. And we speak to this as a blessing of understanding for yourself, to hold within yourself your capacity for enlargement, for the larger share of your soul wishes to express itself in love and loving presence. And this can happen only as these intolerances are purged from the physical experience. And we wish to draw this to you now as a point of focus, a point of awareness, to become aware of self, become aware of where in each day do you place yourself in juxtaposition to another. In what way, in how? To be aware. And we ask this as a point of reflection for the soul, to understand that the greatest momentum for your own engagement, for your enlargement, for your frequency to shift lies here, at this moment, at this time. Your expansion may be guided most potently through this expression. Do you understand?
Yes, we do, Anne. Yes, we do. Her message and their message is a powerful one. We need to become more aware of self. By doing this, we are more grounded and therefore can be of more service to this planet. Now, next, I want to talk about the role of light workers. Now, those of you who identify as light workers or spiritual seekers, I think everybody who listens or watches Next Level Soul is a spiritual seeker. They are seeking more. They are seeking a deeper understanding of not only our world, our 3D world, but our inner world as well. And you have a critical part. Everyone listening to this, everyone watching this, has a critical role to play right now. We are here to anchor the higher frequencies and help raise the collective vibration. I'm going to say that again. Us spiritual seekers, light workers, are here to anchor the higher frequencies in, to help raise the collective vibration of humanity. By maintaining our inner peace, we can uplift the world around us. I hope you're hearing this theme of internal work, of grounding yourself and doing that shadow work within yourself. That is the way that we can not only help ourselves, but the people close around us and the planet around the whole of all of humanity. Now, I'm going to now talk a little bit about, these channels who just came on. Now we had Sheila, Sarah, and Anne come on, and they are part of our virtual summit, Wisdom from Beyond. Now, I'd like to share a little bit more about it and why I created this. The same reason I created this conversation here, I wanted to offer a clear and a deeper understanding of why and what we're going through. And as the world faces unprecedented challenges, it is clear that we're experiencing a profound spiritual awakening as a species. Now, this virtual summit brings together some of the most gifted channels in the world, and they provide divine insights to help us navigate this global shift with a greater awareness. Now, my goal in this, in putting this whole thing together, which by the way was not easy, but I did it because I think it's so important, something that we really need at this point, is to offer guidance and tools for the individual to find that peace and purpose amongst the chaos, to know that the transformation often begins in times of uncertainty. Now, this event brings together 6 of the top channels, each giving top channelers in the world, each offering 90 minutes, full sessions of divine insights where you also will be able to ask questions and answers directly to not only the channelers, but to the entities and groups that they channel. And plus, when you do sign up for it, you get over $1,000 of free bonuses right away before we launch the virtual summit in November. Now, will be taking place November 11th through the 16th of this year. Now, here, I'm going to play a little something for you to give you a better understanding of what you're getting. We are in a time of great change, and humanity is awakening more and more every day. Mankind needs insights on what is happening to all of us. That is why I'm inviting you to Wisdom from Beyond, a 6-day virtual summit designed to awaken your soul. Experience over 9 hours of soul-expanding channeling sessions led by 6 of the world's most esteemed channelers. Connect with the divine, receive sacred insights, and transform your journey by asking questions directly to the channelers themselves. This is more than just a summit. It is your gateway to understanding the profound shifts happening within and around all of us. Plus, when you sign up, you receive exclusive bonus content to deepen your spiritual exploration. Join us and step into the extraordinary. This is an incredible opportunity to grow spiritually and connect with higher wisdom. And I encourage all of you to take part of this spiritual journey to the next level. Now, if you want, as you can see on the screen, you can go to nextlevelsoul.com/events and sign up right now. That's nextlevelsoul.com/events. Now, you guys, one of the biggest things that you guys were asking for, the number one request when I put out a poll, probably about a handful of months ago, was I want an event. I want a live event. And we said we're going to do something this year, but this year we're not going to put a live on event. We're going to do the virtual event, but we just are announcing our first ever live event that's going to be taking place in March 28th through the 30th. And I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. I'm just going to show you a little sneak peek at what we have in store for you at our live event, which is connected to our virtual summit. And I'll tell you more after this. Are you ready to elevate your spiritual journey? Join us for the Next Level Souls Ascension Conference in Austin, Texas, where profound transformation awaits. Dive into 2 days of spiritual awakening, featuring special guest speakers, live channelings, psychic group readings, guided meditations, and powerful spiritual talks, all designed to ignite your soul's evolution. Spaces are filling up fast, so secure your spot now and join us at the Ascension Conference in Austin, Texas, March 28th through the 30th, 2025. Let's ascend together. That's it. It is the Ascension Conference. It's going to be in Austin, Texas, March 28th through the 28th, 29th, and 30th. And it's going to be in the center, a heart of downtown Austin, Texas, and it's going to be amazing. This event is going to offer transformational experiences, including some special VIP opportunities as well that you can dive in even deeper. Now, we'll be a 3D event, and it is going to be, like I said, in Austin, Texas, March 28th through the 30th. Now, how can you get tickets? If you want to get tickets, you need early bird access, because you're going to need early bird access. You need to go to nextlevelsoul.com/events, sign up for the virtual summit, and you will automatically get $100 off the ticket price for the live event in March, and you will get early access. It's limited to the first 50 people who sign up. Now, you will also get access to the VIP package, which will be a half a day with me in a very small group environment where we're going to go deeper and have private sessions that will go a little bit deeper. But you will also have access to the main event as well. Now, this is limited to the first 50 until we launch the tickets for Ascension later in October, or we'll be launching it to the public. But if you want $100 off and first early bird access, because I have a feeling it might sell out. We'll see. A lot of people have been asking about this, so let's see what happens. But nextlevelsoul.com/events. Now, we're going to go into some question and answer now, guys. So, if you guys have some questions and answers about this, please put it in there, and I will try to grab you as best I can. So let's see. Anybody have some questions about what we've discussed, about the events, about the virtual event, anything like that? Anyone have any questions, please? So, all right. Any questions? We got a Q&A here. Okay. So first question is, how do I sign up for Austin? Okay. So all you have to do is go to nextlevelsoul.com/events. There you will sign up for the virtual summit, and that will prompt you to get tickets. After that, you'll get tickets, options to get tickets to Ascension. So just go to nextlevelsoul.com/events. Here it is again for everybody looking. So just go there to sign up for the Austin Ascension. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay. Thank you, Logan. Okay, I'm looking here. Thank you for all the kind words, guys. Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it. So if you're looking for the sign up, just go to nextlevelsoul.com/events. There you'll be able to sign up for the virtual, and then after that, it takes you automatically to the live event, so you can sign up for it there. So the question here is, what dimension are we in right now? Well, we are in the third dimension, guys. I hate to tell you, we are in the third dimension, but we are moving to a new evolution. Whether you want to call it the fourth dimension, you want to call it the fifth dimension, it's truly up to you. It's just a name, but we are leaving this frequency, this vibration that we've been at, and rising it to a new level. This is going to be a very bumpy road for the next 20 or 30 years, they say. But to be honest with you, our frequency has been rising ever since the beginning of when we were walking around this time around, back in the days of the Sumerians. What we were doing to each other back then is very different to what we do to each other now. We might think that we're still savages, and in many parts of the world we are. And to be honest with you, many in the evolved places in the world, if you will, we are still very harsh and very brutal to each other. But there's no arguing that what we were 100 years ago, even 50 years ago, even we are a different frequency, because these conversations, the ones I have on the show, would not have been able to be happening if we wouldn't have had this rising of frequency. But this one's going to be a really big one, is what we're going through right now. So let's see here. So are any of these events coming to the UK? Well, we are definitely thinking of doing a European version of this, June, but we got to get our feet wet first. This is our first event, and we're going to do it a little closer to home here in Austin. So we're going to do this one first. We do have plans of doing many more of these in the future, and we, doing this as an annual thing, and maybe things even bigger in the future. But for right now, we're going to test this out and see how you guys like it, and if you guys want to come out for it. And if it's a success, then we'll keep doing it for you guys. We want to be able to build a place for community as well. When are you having Sheila back on? We will be having Sheila back on very soon. And she might, I'm not promising anything, but she might be in studio. So we are working on that right now, but she will be back before the year's out. There's no question, is whether or not she's going to be in studio or on Zoom. We're working out that with her schedule. But yes, we love Sheila. We love Theo. They're definitely going to be coming back on the show. So let's discuss Ascension symptoms. You know what? I'm going to have to agree with you on that, because there is something that everyone's a little bit different. Some people are feeling it, some people aren't, but there's just something off. It's kind of like on a full moon. A lot of people, go nuts because the full moon's gravitational pull is pulling on water a little bit heavier, and we're made of a large portion of us is made of water. So there's symptoms, there's things. That's why they say all the crazies come out on the full moon. That's actually the birth, I think, of the myth of the werewolves and that whole story. But yeah, there is definitely something going on in regards to symptoms. My own personal ones, sometimes headaches, exhaustion, difficult time meditation. My meditations have been a little bit more difficult to get into sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes. And I've talked to my spiritual guide, Connie, who's been on the show 4 times. She's coming on episode 500, where I think at episode 496, 97, something like that. So episode 500 is going to be my spiritual guide, Connie. She's going to come back on the show. You know how fiery she is, and her and I have a ball. But she is the one that's been telling me a lot about the frequencies and the symptoms that we're going through. So it is something real that is happening to many of us who are sensitive to that. So thank you for bringing that up. Thank you, Stacy, so much. Thank you guys so much. Do I think things are going to get harder or easier? I think a little bit of both. Every channel, every psychic who's come on the show, even people just in the spiritual space who are connected, more mystics, they all say that we're going to be going through a bumpy ride. And that's not all bad. And not everyone's going to feel every bump, but we are going to be going through a bumpy time. No question. Basically, since 2012, 2016, 2020, these are all years that were very high in turmoil. I don't know what's going to happen this year, but it's shaping up to be a pretty chaotic November here in the States, at least. So we'll see what happens, but I do believe it's going to get a bit more bumpy, but also a bit easier in other areas. So just like every struggle in life, we're just feeling it throughout humanity's consciousness. So Nikki, am I a vegetarian? I am a vegetarian. I was a vegan for a long time, but now I've leaned more towards vegetarians because I travel a lot. It's very, very difficult to stay only vegan. But I am a vegetarian, have been for about 13 years. And the reason why I did it mostly for health purposes. I'm a Cuban guy. I used to eat pork. I used to eat meat. But I just decided, just for me at least, and I'm not judging on anybody else, but for me, it just makes me feel a little bit better, a little bit lighter. And it helps me as I kind of progress on this journey, my physical body. But I do, and have been a vegetarian for 13 years, and I do love it. It's been very great, and I'm not a 90-pound weakling, as everyone can see, as a lot of myths say in regards to being vegetarian. But yes, I am, and I'm very happy. But again, when people come to Austin, sometimes they take them to the best barbecue joints here because they eat meat. So it's not anything like that. It's just more of a personal choice at this point. I will come to Europe soon, guys. I will come to Europe soon. Let's see. Let me see. So the question is, how do I sort through all the wonderful people who have stories worth the show? Thank you so much, Susie, for that question. Um, that's one of the biggest questions I get all the time. Like, how do you pick people for the show? How do you pick people for the show? And, I pick people for the show truly through my gut. My wife works with me and helps me kind of comb through a lot of this stuff. But a lot of times it's people who submit their proposals properly through proper channels, not trying to sneak it through another old email or something like that. We don't read those things. We just straight delete them. So if you process it through, you put it through the proper processes, we do look at them. But as you can imagine, there's so many people who want to come on the show that it's difficult to pick. Difficult to pick through a bunch of amazing stories and amazing guests. But a lot of times it's a gut feeling. It's my higher self telling me this is the person that needs to be on the show. And many times it's not, this person's not ready for the show, or it's not a good fit for the show. But sometimes it's people who submit. Sometimes it's people who just pass me. I see them on YouTube somewhere. I see them on the internet somewhere. That I see it and I go, oh, I'm curious about that person. So that's how we generally look for people on the show. All right. I know there's a lot of questions. I'm trying to answer them the best and as fast as I can. So, is there going to be a virtual offering for Ascension? Yes, there will be a replay. It won't be live. We're not going to be recording it live, but there will be a replay afterwards for Ascension that you'll be able to buy. So you'll be able to have a digital copy of it to be able to watch it and watch it afterwards. But there's going to be things that we won't be able to record that will be specific to the event. But yes, there will be some sort of option. We're working on that. But yes, there will be, because I know everybody can't fly into Austin, but I want everybody to be able to have at least access to what we're doing with it. Aaron, if you're not familiar with the lingo, first of all, welcome. If you're not familiar with the lingo and a lot of things that we're saying, I invite you to watch the show. The show really does cover a lot of this stuff. As you watch it, you will start understanding the lingo a little bit more. How do I see the next 2 years going? Ooh, um, it's gonna be a little rough. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's gonna be a little. It's gonna be a little bit of a bumpy ride. I think over the next at least 6 years, the rest of this decade, we're gonna have a little bit of ups and we're gonna have a little bit of downs. It's not gonna be the end of the world. We're gonna get through it, and at the end of it, it's gonna be much better. We're gonna all be much better off than we were before. But like any transformation, we're going to have to go through a little bit of pain to get to the other side. And I think as long as we continue to work with each other, to help ourselves, to ground ourselves, to work inward, to do our own shadow work, and to be those light workers, to be those spiritual seekers that help the rest of this planet ground the frequency of this new frequency that's coming in, I think we'll be okay. I don't think it's going to be. It's just, look. Everybody wants everything to be cool and clean, and no stress, no bumps on the corners. Cover everything up. We can't kind of baby-proof humanity's consciousness frequency rising. It's going to be what it's going to be, but I think we'll be okay. Thank you so much, Mary Beth. Yes, yes, Patty. There will be more shows like this. We're going to be trying to do more and more of these. This is a new platform for us, and I know you guys been wanting to learn more and more and to ask me questions and things like that. So we're going to try to do more of these. I can't give you a schedule right now, but we're going to be at least trying to do a couple of these at least a month for the time being, to kind of get this ball rolling, and be able to answer questions about what's going on and also what's happening, and we can also share all the amazing things that we're doing at Next Level Soul with you guys. Thank you so much for all the lovely words, guys. I appreciate it. So what do I think about ETs allegedly coming to visit us within the next few years? Daryl Anka or Bashar, who is at our summit, and that's a question that we'll probably be asking him at the virtual summit. He said that Bashar had predicted that many, many, many years ago, that in the next few years, we're going to have some sort of first contact that we're going to see in a big way. If it is, great. I don't think it's going to be aliens or predators or Independence Day. I don't. If anything like that does happen, it's going to be very positive for humanity, and it's going to be something that is going to, I think, catapult us as a species and as a consciousness to higher and higher places, not only technologically, but spiritually as well. Yes, we're going to have Jeanette back on the show sometime soon. I love Jeanette. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, April. So if you don't want to do the virtual summit but want to get access to Ascension, right now we just have the early bird window. So if you want to get early bird access, that's basically the way we have it set up, so we can give people early access. After that early access period is passed, it will be available for many, many months, but tickets will probably run out fast. So we just wanted to give people access to it early, and that's what we're doing. But that will be changing. Hopefully in October, sometimes we're going to announce the big release of Ascension publicly to everybody, so everybody could purchase tickets. Like I said before, virtually it will be on a replay. We'll be doing a replay of the event afterwards, so you guys will have access to purchase those at a later date. Many people always ask me about Abraham and Esther Hicks. I would love to have them on the show, but they don't do interviews anymore, apparently. So if you guys want Abraham and Esther Hicks to come on the show, please reach out. Just send them an email. Let them know what you're expecting and want. So and you want them to come on Next Level Soul, and I'm open. And that goes, by the way, for all people and anybody you want on the show. That's these bigger people that are harder to get on the show. Tony Robbins is one of my bucket list guests to have on the show. I would love to get to Tony, but I can't reach Tony. I can't get through his people. But if you guys send enough emails, maybe they'll take a notice and want to come on the show. Who knows? But people like that, Steven Spielberg, I don't think you need to reach out to Steven. Or George Lucas for that matter. But these kind of people, if you want them to come on, please reach out to them, tell them to come on. You're welcome, Alaya, so much. I'm so grateful. I look forward to seeing you in the summit. The conference will not, I repeat, not ever be on YouTube. This is something that's going to be set privately for people of the tribe who are going to be getting it. It will not be on YouTube, and neither will the virtual summit. The virtual summit will never be on YouTube either. It will only be inside of what we're doing at Next Level Soul, behind that wall, because it's not fair to the guests that we're bringing in to just throw it up on YouTube in that manner. We want to make this something special for the tribe. I put up enough stuff on YouTube. I think everybody here, please speak up, will agree that I do 3 episodes, sometimes 4 episodes a week of fresh content, hour to 2 hours each. So you're getting sometimes 3 to 5 hours sometimes of content a week. I think that's enough for us to put on YouTube, plus all these other shows, plus languages. So I think we're good on putting stuff on YouTube. We gotta put something outside of YouTube, guys. All right. How do you teleport over to the event? If you figure that out, let me know. But again, like I said, there'll be a virtual replay that you guys can see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Mary Magdalene is not the same person as Mother Mary. They are 2 very different entities. They're 2 very different ascended masters, and they do 2 very different things. And if you want to know more about Mary Magdalene and more about Mother Mary, you can listen to RJ, one of our recent episodes with RJ. And if you want your head to explode, just go to Aaron Abke's new interview I did with him in studio. Both of those are in studio, and they are explosive interviews. I think you guys will really like it. Let's see here. I cannot believe that it's almost 1 million. Spread the word, guys. We want to get to 1 million as fast as possible. I want to get there in record time, without question. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Inside. That's a great question. Can you give us insight on how this journey has affected you as you've interacted with so many of them? You know what? I'm going to tell you, it has affected me profoundly. We're on almost episode 500, and I've had the absolute privilege of speaking to some of the most amazing souls walking the earth today. Some of the most profound knowledge, information, energy. When I had Buddha channeled and Babaji and Yogananda and Jesus channeled in studio, Archangel Michael in studio. These energies were amazing. I get to ask any question I want to some of the most amazing human beings and souls, and not only them. Sometimes the channelers and psychics. I get to ask the other side these questions. Of course, it's going to have a very great impact on me. How could it not? It changes me on a daily basis, without question. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yes, if you haven't heard, yes, there will be a virtual option for the Ascension Conference, and more information will come after that. If you want to get tickets for Ascension, just head over to nextlevelsoul.com/events, purchase a ticket for Ascension, for with Wisdom from Beyond, our virtual summit, and I'll give you early access, the early bird special, $100 off, and access to get tickets if you want to come in person. But afterwards, we will have a virtual option of some sort. Thank you so much, guys, for the amazing works. And I want to address something really quickly. Nikki Allen, who is one of my favorite guests of all time, is going through a major tragedy right now. She has lost her husband unexpectedly, and it's just, I mean, can you only imagine? And she's having some difficulties with the family of her husband. So she has to move back to her family to recover, to heal. And I have spoken to her. She's doing okay. But as you can imagine, this is devastating. And they set up a GoFundMe page to help her move back to Essex in England. And if you go to my Facebook page, the Next Level Soul Facebook page, there is a link there. And I'll be doing some more postings of that later today here on YouTube, about where you can you can donate to her. And hopefully, she said that when she's ready, she is going to come onto the show to talk about what it's like to lose your soulmate and how to deal with that. She said she offered that up. So if she wants to come, the door is always open. I love her to death, and I'm here for her to support her. So please, if you want to help Nikki Allen, amazing psychic from the UK, just go over to my Facebook group. My Facebook page at Next Level Souls, Next Level Soul on Facebook. Just type it in. It'll be one of the top posts there. I pinned it towards the top there. So yes, our hearts and prayers and good energy go out to Nikki Allen. I just want to make sure everybody knew about that. Will I be speaking at the live event? Absolutely, I will be speaking at the live event. You guys are going to want me to shut up at the live event. We are going to have special guests there. We're going to have meditations. We're going to have possibly a cacao ceremony, sound baths, breath work, as well as amazing talks from site. We have absolutely having a psychic medium there. We will have a channeler there. We will have multiple mystics there. It's going to be an amazing time, and we're going to have a mixer on Friday night as well, so all of us can get together, and the Next Level Soul tribe can start to connect in person. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Here, and let me show you guys real quick again. I'm going to show you the promo for Ascension again. Are you ready to elevate your spiritual journey? Join us for the Next Level Souls Ascension Conference in Austin, Texas, where profound transformation awaits. Dive into 2 days of spiritual awakening, featuring special guest speakers, live channelings, psychic group readings, guided meditations, and powerful spiritual talks, all designed to ignite your soul's evolution. Spaces are filling up fast, so secure your spot now and join us at the Ascension Conference in Austin, Texas, March 28th through the 30th, 2025. Let's ascend together. And that is Ascension. So again, go to nextlevelsoul.com/events to gain access to Ascension by buying a ticket to Wisdom from Beyond. Now, I'm going to show this. I'm going to show this again for people who have not seen it, the Wisdom from Beyond trailer. We are in a time of great change, and humanity is awakening more and more every day. Mankind needs insights on what is happening to all of us. That is why I'm inviting you to Wisdom from Beyond, a 6-day virtual summit designed to awaken your soul. Experience over 9 hours of soul-expanding channeling sessions led by 6 of the world's most esteemed channelers. Connect with the divine, receive sacred insights, and transform your journey by asking questions directly to the channelers themselves. This is more than just a summit. It is your gateway to understanding the profound shifts happening within and around all of us. Plus, when you sign up, you receive exclusive bonus content to deepen your spiritual exploration. Join us and step into the extraordinary. Now, if you didn't recognize the channels that are going to be at the virtual summit, they are Sarah Landon, Sheila Gillette, who channels Theo. Sarah Landon channels the Council. Ann Tucker, who is channeling the Angelic Realm. Then we have Paul Selig, who channels the Guides. One of my favorite guests. All these guys are my favorite guests. I'm sorry, all of them. I love all of these guys. Then we'll have Jeffrey Hoppy, that will, or Hope or Hoppy. I always get that confused. Jeffrey, who's going to be channeling Adamus Saint Germain, and of course the legendary Daryl Anka channeling Bashar for the first time in the Next Level Soul universe. We will have Bashar channeling live, where I will be talking to Bashar, because Bashar doesn't do interviews. Daryl's been on the show 5 times, I think, at this point, and he's in a 5-timers club, and we've never been able to get Bashar on the show because Bashar doesn't do interviews. But we have now been able to get Bashar in the virtual summit. From what I understand, Daryl tells me that he's very excited to talk to all of us and answer any questions we might have. So it is going to be exciting, to say the least. So again, just go to nextlevelsoul.com/events to be able to get tickets for the virtual summit, which then leads you to buy early bird tickets for our live event in March of 2025, Ascension. Now I'm going to take a few more questions before we go, because it's Sunday and I'd like to spend some time with family. So, what do you recommend for someone who feels stuck? Well, what happens is, and I felt stuck many times in my life. When you feel stuck, it's because you're telling yourself a story that something is not happening the way you want it to happen, or you're not getting what you want, or circumstances are not exactly the way you want. I'm speaking from my own personal experience, by the way. Um, you need to change the narrative. You need to understand that you won the lottery by being here. You won the lottery by being here. You need to take advantage of that. Search, find your way to get yourself out. Go to events, go read a book, watch podcasts like mine, of course, but any kind of books or information, something to kind of start to change the narrative, something to inspire you in a different way. You know, these summits, the live event, if it's not ours, it's somebody else's, something to start changing that voice in your head, changing that narrative. So, let me see. I have 2 more questions before I go. And let me see. We do so yes. Google Whiz, we do have some mystical experiences signed up for the event. Um, we're going to have, again, a handful of, we're going to have mystics there. We're going to have channelers there. We're going to have psychic mediums there, doing some amazing talks, as well as many other group activities, like meditation and so on. You can go to, if you go to nextlevelsoul.com/ascension, you'll be able to find out more about Ascension and the conference and what we're going to have there. Okay. You have a lot of questions. All right, hold on a second. Let's go here. All right, one last question. Let's see. Last question. How did I start my journey in the spiritual space? Well, I've talked about it a bunch I talked about it a bunch on other interviews and also on the show as well. But a real quick version of that, Connie, my spiritual master, my spiritual guide, told me I need to start a spiritual podcast. Well, you know what? To go farther back, she started giving me books to read. Age of Aquarius, Many Lives, Many Mansions, The World Within, by Gina. I can never remember her last name. These are books that and then of course, Autobiography of a Yogi. These are the books that kind of started me down the path, but I've always questioned a lot of the stuff and dogmas that were in my religion that I grew up with, which was the Catholic religion. And I always questioned it, even at a young age, I questioned it. So it is something that I've always been curious about and continuously I'm learning at and going for. So thank you for asking that question. I'm going to play this one more time for anyone who has not seen it. Here you go. We are in a time of great change, and humanity is awakening more and more every day. Mankind needs insights on what is happening to all of us. That is why I'm inviting you to Wisdom from Beyond, a 6-day virtual summit designed to awaken your soul. Experience over 9 hours of soul-expanding channeling sessions led by 6 of the world's most esteemed channelers. Connect with the divine, receive sacred insights, and transform your journey by asking questions directly to the channelers themselves. This is more than just a summit. It is your gateway to understanding the profound shifts happening within and around all of us. Plus, when you sign up, you receive exclusive bonus content to deepen your spiritual exploration. Join us and step into the extraordinary. And one last time for anyone who has not seen this, for the Ascension live conference that we will be having in March of 2025. Check this out, guys. Are you ready to elevate your spiritual journey? Join us for the Next Level Souls Ascension Conference in Austin, Texas, where profound transformation awaits. Dive into 2 days of spiritual awakening featuring special guest speakers, live channelings, psychic group readings, guided meditations, and powerful spiritual talks, all designed to ignite your soul's evolution. Spaces are filling up fast, so secure your spot now and join us at the Ascension Conference in Austin, Texas, March 28th through the 30th, 2025. Let's ascend together. Now, guys, I'm going to wrap it up with just kind of going over a couple little things that we've been talking about this entire time. The chaos that we're experiencing is not something to fear. The bumps in the road that we're going to be having in this next decade or 2 or 3, however long, is not something to fear. It is a necessary part of our transformation and spiritual awakening, not only for ourselves, but for humanity as a whole. I encourage you to embrace this moment as an opportunity for personal and collective growth. Now, don't forget, if you want to hang out with us and learn more about what's going on in the world, please sign up for our virtual summit, Wisdom from Beyond, with 6 of the most amazing channelers on the planet. Go to nextlevelsoul.com/events. And there you could also, after you purchase that ticket, have early access to our live event Ascension Conference in March of 2025. Thank you guys so much for being a part, not only of this live stream, that hopefully we'll have many more in the future, but also for being part of the Next Level Soul tribe, for getting us to 900,000 subs on our main channel. That is amazing in less than 3 years. That is astronomical speed to be able to do something like that. And I owe it all to you. I am humbled to serve all of you in what we're doing here. And please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Help us get to that million as fast as possible. If you haven't shared these episodes with your friends and family and people that you think that are curious, who might find benefit from these episodes, please share them. Share them wide on your Facebook, on your social, on YouTube, anywhere you can. We need to get this message out there. We need to get all of this amazing content out to the world to help awaken the planet and speed up what we're all going through in this ascension. Thank you again so much, guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Thanks again. We are in a time of great change, and humanity is awakening more and more every day. Mankind needs insights on what is happening to all of us. That is why I'm inviting you to Wisdom from Beyond, a 6-day virtual summit designed to awaken your soul. Experience over 9 hours of soul-expanding channeling sessions led by 6 of the world's most esteemed channelers. Connect with the divine, receive sacred insights, and transform your journey by asking questions directly to the channelers themselves. This is more than just a summit. It is your gateway to understanding the profound shifts happening within and around all of us. Plus, when you sign up, you receive exclusive bonus content to deepen your spiritual exploration. Join us and step into the extraordinary. Are you ready to elevate your spiritual journey? Join us for the Next Level Souls Ascension Conference in Austin, Texas, where profound transformation awaits. Dive into 2 days of spiritual awakening featuring special guest speakers, live channelings, psychic group readings, guided meditations, and powerful spiritual talks, all designed to ignite your soul's evolution. Spaces are filling up fast, so secure your spot now and join us at the Ascension Conference in Austin, Texas, March 28th through the 30th, 2025. Let's ascend together.